Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's weekly musings is Make It So. I'm doing a series of weekly musings, and I'm using posts from my blog, Adventures in Density and Effort, as inspiration. Now, I wrote these a while ago, and the world has completely changed since then. However, I find this information is evergreen, so I will summarize the topic based on what's going on in the world today. I have some special offers, so stay tuned to the very end to see what they are. Make It So. On December 21st, we have the solstice. For the Northern Hemisphere, it's a time in nature where things seem to go dormant. In reality, all the activity is taking place underground. Seeds are germinating, soil mulched in the fall is creating the perfect environment for growth under winter's freezing temperatures. In nature, the energy of creation is on the architectural level. The devas are planning the next season. It's a powerful time to set intentions because you have more oomph than just the new moon. You can send your wish list out to be worked on, and you can create through intention your entire next year. If you do this, then next spring, fasten your seatbelts. You will find your life accelerating at the equinox, which is when the Devic level connects to the level of form. If you're co-creating a garden with nature, this is the time to pull out the seed catalogs and consult with the Deva of your garden. However, your life is your garden. Your work is your garden. Your family is your garden. The same principles apply. Pull out your journal and have staff meetings with the non-physical or family meetings. Just as plants have devas, wherever there's this gathering of people, a communal focusing, there's an overarching deva. Countries have devas. Cities have devas. If you have a business, you have a deva of your business as well. You have unseen help in creating your desires. You don't have to know how you're going to create or manifest something. Devas set that in motion. In fact, you don't even have to know exactly what it is you want to manifest. You can know the feeling: happiness, contentment, security, excitement, love. Vision boards are effective if the images provoke emotion. Devas are the architects of nature. When you build a house, it's helpful to have an architect. He'll design something that won't collapse, that will withstand storms and earthquakes. He'll make it aesthetically pleasing and consider details you wouldn't have thought of. He'll facilitate it getting made much more quickly than if you sat down to work on your own without a plan. Work in partnership with your Deva. Trust that they have your best interest at heart. Have patience because things will unfold with divine timing. You'll be amazed at what gets created. It will be better than you could have possibly manifested on your own. And I feel like I just need to give some pointers on working with devas. It's actually very simple. You can think of devas as your invisible friends. They're invisible architects. There's a deva of your workplace. There's a deva of your home. There's a deva of the country that you're living in. And I find when you're starting to work on this level, it's really helpful to journal on it. You can pull out your tablet or a paper journal and write down the questions that you want. Imagine connecting with your deva and writing down what you think they're telling you. I don't hear things in words. I kind of get things more like in thought clouds, so I'm interpreting. As I write it out and I look at it, I couldn't possibly have made that up. It's definitely information coming from bigger than I could have possibly imagined. And I used to work with devas all the time. I used to have business meetings with devas because I had several different businesses and each one of them had a deva, so I would sit down and have business meetings. It really did help with my life expanding, my work expanding. And I'm thinking as I'm reading this that it will be really helpful for me to do this again in terms of my vision of my husband and I retiring to Spain. We've hit a few obstacles on the path. It's a little bit like being on a road trip, and all I've got to go on is what I can see down the road. My GPS isn't being that useful, but devas have the drone's eye view of things. They know what the weather and the traffic patterns are going to be like, and they can help with that. They can also help you steer into a parallel universe where things are flowing much more easily. I'm making notes for myself as I'm saying this. I'm thinking, great, because some of these obstacles, I could use a higher energy source to help unfold things, because it's not going to work if I try to change, fix, or manipulate the hologram or other people in the hologram, because we're all on our own road trip and it's between us and our higher energies to navigate. So if you've had an experience like this, please leave me a comment below. I love to read your comments. And if you like these videos, please share them with your family and friends and on your social media. And if you want a free sample of one of my consciousness techniques, click on the link below to the Skybox technique. It'll give you a drone's eye perspective of what's going on in your life and in the world today. And if you want to learn how to do this for yourself, click on the link below to my self-study course. It'll give you some basics in energy transformation and empower you to navigate your life as consciousness. And if you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com, and there you can find out about my coaching special and my individual sessions and also my books. So go to my website, joan-newcomb.com, and I'll see you next week in another Weekly Musings.